hurried resignation and a dramatic escape to India. Hundreds storming the official residence of the Prime Minister and ransacking it. Statues of founder Sheikh Mujibur Rahman being brought down. 15 years of Sheikh Hasina's reign in Bangladesh came to a crashing halt. What began as a peaceful protest by students against a quota system for government jobs eventually turned into an uprising that left 300 people dead and forced Hasina to resign and flee the country by helicopter. Shortly after Hasina resigned, Bangladesh's army chief said they would seek the figurehead president's guidance to appoint an interim government. After meeting General Wakar-uz-Zaman and opposition politicians, President Muhammad Shahabuddin announced that Parliament would be dissolved as soon as possible, leading to fresh elections. In a move to stabilize the situation, the President announced the release of opposition leader and former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia, along with other political detainees. Zia, who had been a long-time rival of Hasina, had been imprisoned on corruption charges that her supporters claimed were politically motivated. Her release is seen as a significant concession to protesters and a step towards reconciling the deeply divided political landscape in Bangladesh. The student-led protest movement, which led to Hasina's ouster, announced that Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus will be the chief advisor of the Bangladeshi interim government.
It's a celebration now all over Bangladesh that she has left. Now they're free from her. This was something that they're hoping someday will happen. The students made it happen.
Yunus faced a number of corruption accusations and was put on trial during Hasina's rule. He received the Nobel Peace Prize in 2006 after he pioneered microlending. Yunus said the corruption charges against him were motivated by vengeance. Bangladesh witnessed many years of military rule in the 1970s and the 80s, following the war that secured its independence from Pakistan in 1971. So many people in the country are wary of the danger of a return of military rule. In 2007, the military declared an emergency after widespread political unrest and installed a caretaker government for 2 years. While many are celebrating the end of Hasina's rule, there is also a palpable sense of uncertainty about the future of Bangladesh. The next steps taken by the interim government, the military and civil society will be crucial in determining whether Bangladesh can navigate this crisis and emerge stronger. Sheikh Hasina was the world's longest-serving female head of government. She was first elected as Prime Minister in 1996 and again in 2009, serving a total of 20 years in office. Earlier this year, Hasina won her 4th straight term in elections, but many took the victory with a pinch of salt. Hasina was accused of muzzling opposition forces and other forms of dissent, orchestrating disappearances and arranging extrajudicial killings. But ultimately, a students' protest brought down the Iron Lady of Bangladesh. In July, a bunch of them demonstrated against a controversial quota system that allocated up to 30% of government jobs for family members of veterans from Bangladesh's 1971 War of Independence against Pakistan. But protesters argued that this system is discriminatory and favours supporters of Prime Minister Hasina's Awami League party. They advocated for a merit-based system to replace the existing quota. It turned violent on the 15th of July as student protesters clashed with security officials and pro-government activists. Hasina's government responded by imposing a curfew with shoot-on-sight orders. The internet and mobile data were also turned off. As the violence intensified, Bangladesh's Supreme Court ruled that the veterans' quota must be cut down to 5%, with 93% of jobs to be allocated on the basis of merit. The government accepted the decision and restored internet, thinking that the situation would ease. But the protests only grew, with new demands for investigations into the deadly crackdowns and eventually for Hasina and her cabinet to step down. Ultimately, it's the people who won. Bangladesh now stands at a crossroads. The resignation of Sheikh Hasina marks the beginning of a new chapter in the nation's history. Will Bangladesh be able to wipe the slate clean, or will the country be plunged into the same autocratic rule that the people have rejected?